Fishermen work hard every day to catch fish, and the fish they can't catch are just suppressing the underground wine and vegetables. The taxes and taxes of the Eastern Jin Dynasty made him despair about life until he saw the blooming peach tree. It seems like I am in that paradise again. During the Taiyuan period of the Eastern Jin Dynasty, the taxes were heavy, and the people were living in dire straits and used tree bark as food. There was a fishing blessing outside Wuling City, and it had been impossible to catch fish for a month. He was so hungry that he was sitting on the bow of the boat and lamenting the difficulty of life. Suddenly he saw a fish jumping, and excitedly picked up the bamboo cage and threw it out, thinking that he could finally have a full meal when lifted. But there was only a small fish with a wide gap between the teeth. It couldn't bear it, so it released the small fish. But the little fish was not in a hurry to leave, but returned to the fisherman's boat, jumping around as if saying something. Seeing that the fisherman couldn't understand the fishing words, the little fish simply swam to the stern and pushed the boat forward quickly. The fisherman encountered this consciousness for the first time. Panic picked up the bamboo pole and tried to stop the boat, but fell off the cliff waterfall. I don't know how long it took, but the boat finally stopped and the fisherman woke up from his coma. There was a scene of spring and March around him, and the peach blossoms bloomed all over the mountains and fields. He was very surprised. He wanted to find out, so he rowed the boat to the shore. Strangely, there is not a single tree among the peach trees that are hundreds of steps long, and the flowers and plants are fresh and beautiful. The fallen flowers scattered to the ground, and he had never seen such a beautiful place before. At this time, two little birds flew over, as if leading him. So he walked through the peach forest, and came to the birthplace of the stream. A small hole came into view. There was still a slight light. He came to the entrance of the cave, hesitated for a moment, and then plucked up the courage to get in. At first the entrance of the cave was very narrow, only enough for him to squeeze in, but after walking dozens of steps, the entrance of the cave became wider and wider, until the scene in front of him completely overturned his cognition. The land here is flat and picturesque. People are in a mood to cultivate on the fertile fields, and the clothes of men and women are no different from those of outsiders, and the elderly and children are happy. It is like a paradise, which is in sharp contrast with the fisherman who is patrolling the Beast Valley. When he saw the fisherman, the old man was surprised and even came forward to greet him enthusiastically, although the fisherman couldn't explain why he came here. Those who come here are all gardens. Let's go home with me first. The fisherman had only seen such a rich and delicious dish at the sacrificial activities, which made him drool and make the children beside him laugh. At the old man's instructions, the fisherman hid quickly. After the wind blew the clouds, only bones and residue were left in the plate. The fisherman beat a gutter with satisfaction. The old man also warmly handed a peach to the fisherman to decipher. After drinking and eating, the two of them started to have a homely conversation. It turned out that in order to avoid the war in the Qin dynasty, the old man's ancestors led the family and his neighbors to this place isolated from human affairs. From then on, he stopped communicating with people outside, and the fisherman was the first outsider to break into it. Then the old man asked if it was an urgent matter now. As soon as this said, the fisherman was stunned for a moment, and then destroyed the Qin dynasty and established its defenses one after another. But now it was the story of the Jin dynasty. The old man couldn't help but sigh that one day in the mountains has been outside the world for 100 years. The fisherman quietly hid the pottery box. In the next few days, the villagers invited the fisherman to their homes. The good and kind villagers made the fisherman feel warmth that he had never felt before. There is no exploitation here, no departmental donations and miscellaneous taxes. Everyone respects and loves each other and enjoys themselves. Compared with the chaos outside, this place is simply the end of the world. At night, the fisherman was lying on the bed and couldn't fall asleep for a long time, not knowing what he was thinking. Early the next morning, he left secretly, thinking that after everything in the house was settled, he would come back here. Unexpectedly, the old man was already waiting for him at the entrance. The fisherman was a little embarrassed and didn't know how to explain it. In fact, the old man already knew what he was thinking, and just begged the fisherman not to mention this to outsiders. After saying that, he turned around and left. In order to find this place again, the fisherman made a sign on his way out, but when he wanted to go back again, the signs were gone. A few days later, he was hung on a tree by the prefect on the tree and beaten. It was because he told the story of the paradise that the prefect searched everywhere, but almost lost his life. Just when the prefect ordered the fisherman to be punished again, Lu Ziji came, and he expressed his belief that there was a paradise. When a friend who loved fish came forward to ask, the prefect let the fisherman go, so they came to a grass pavilion. The fisherman dragged out his energy and plate. In order to prove that what he said was true, he showed the huge peach pit to Lu Ziji, who was full of yearning for the paradise. So they walked together and embarked on the road to finding a paradise. They traveled through the river all day long, But unfortunately, year after year, they didn't find the peach blossom forest. Lu Ziji fell ill because of this. Lu Ziji, who was lying on the hospital bed, finally said that. With Lu Ziji's death, no one believed Yu Fu's words anymore. Gradually, Yu Fu began to doubt whether he had really been to that place. In a disappointment, he buried his peach pits in the soil and continued his previous life of fishing, endless exploitation and despair. When he saw the peach blossoms all over the trees, they all disappeared. He was so happy because one day he would find that peach blossom land.